Good morning, Captain. Nope, no crises yet today, sir. Seriously, no anomalies, attacks, unexplained phenomena, intruders, or sentient space clouds to deal with. In fact, I think we just might make it through this entire briefing without an incident. Knock on wood. I don't have to actually knock on wood if I say it. Besides, do you see anything wooden in here? This place is antiseptically devoid of life. You need a tree or something. Yes, like a decorative ficus. It's good for you. Good for the air in here, too. The scrubbers are fine, you know what I mean. I'm just offering some extremely helpful advice. That's one of the reasons you keep me around, right? I'm glad. If I can't be the voice of reason in your head, you'll end up with your mother in there, and no one wants that. Okay, permission to start the briefing? First off, engineering says that their upgrades to propulsion will be done a few hours ahead of schedule, so the engines should be back to full functionality before the end of today. Yeah, I figured I'd start with some good news. They're pretty proud of themselves down there. You should be sure to tell them good job personally. Good, they'll love that. Moving on, the food replicators on Deck J are acting up for some reason. There's already a team on it, but in the short term, I'd like to relocate all crew living on that deck to different quarters. No, it's a bit worse than that. When I say acting up, I mean spewing sand and lemonade around the room, sometimes to the tune of the 1812 Overture. Exactly. It'll get fixed, these things happen, but for now I'll start moving people, before someone builds the stickiest sandcastle ever made. Okay, remember that shipment of experimental fuel we took on? Yeah, that. The stasis field holding it is using more power than we anticipated. I just wanted to make you aware in case we have to do some creative rerouting in the next couple of weeks. Might have to cut back here and there on the extras. Yeah, well, I'll be happy when it's not on board anymore. Makes me nervous. That's fair, and if it does explode, we won't feel anything. So, bright side. Hey, you know me, always looking for bright sides. Now then, what else? Oh yeah, it's time for the monthly deep clean of the holodecks. The power washing, disinfecting, all of it. Yeah, but there's a small problem. Some of the cleaning crew are refusing to do it. They say it's above their pay grade. Well, yeah, especially since no one's getting paid. They just don't want to have to deal with it. And who can blame them, honestly? But don't worry, I'll try to come up with some incentives to get them to step up. No, I get it. It's a hard job. I wouldn't want to be the one to do it, but someone has to. Otherwise, it's just going to become a health hazard to use the holodecks. We'd have to shut them down, and no one wants that. Oh, this time's a bit worse than usual. Remember when Admiral Riker visited a few weeks ago? Yeah, now you're with me. So with your permission, I will incentivize the cleaning efforts. Maybe we can give them more shore leave or something. Or therapy. Lots of it. Got it. Moving down the list. We have a long list of requests from the Galley. One of the chefs would like to mix up the menu a bit. Most of it is stuff we can get at the next outpost, but some of it's toxic to a few species on board, so we'll need to take some basic precautions. Put warnings on stuff, that sort of thing. Hey, deep space is boring. I would probably go slowly crazy if I had to make the same dishes over and over all the time. And if people don't like the new stuff, they can go replicate something in their rooms. Like, sand and lemonade. Breakfast of Champions. What else? Security is reporting everything fairly normal. A few more idiots in the drunk tank today, but that's expected after a weekend. You don't get to complain. You're the one who let the crew bring actual booze on board. What did you expect? I see how it is. Well, it's a trade-off. You get your whiskey, and we get a few more drunken disorderlies. Not that it's a big deal. And for what it's worth, the medical staff is making a bit of a game out of taking their time treating the hangovers. It's harmless. Let them suffer a little with their self-inflicted headaches. They'll be fine in the end. At least you're not one of the ones over-imbibing. I would hate to have to fish you out of the tank, too. Good, I'm glad you see it that way. Now, speaking of medical, we need to replenish the supplies there, too. We went through a lot of stuff dealing with that colony that had the Plessian plague outbreak. We really need to get everything back in stock before we go looking for trouble again. I don't know, we always just manage to find it. Or rather, I guess it finds us. Nah, you're not cursed. Not any more than any other captain, anyway. We're explorers, and explorers are always going to find a few bad things once in a while. All part of the job. Don't sweat it. You're a great captain and a solid leader. The crew looks up to you. They'd probably follow you into hell if you asked them to. Careful, don't burn all that goodwill. You might need it for something. Yeah, let me just finish up here. We've had messages from Deep Space 3, the Franklin, and Carson Station. Nothing special, just some updates and routine check-ins. Also, have you written your speech yet? Your speech, the one for the ceremony. Yes, that one. Did you write it yet? Because you said you were going to, and you also told me to remind you. Okay, well then this is me reminding you. Write your speech. Because you're the captain and you have to. You know this. It's the downside of the job. Hey, if I could do it for you, I would, but I can't. You really are just a born adventurer, aren't you? Facing down a militant new species and you're fine. Massive emergency? Cool as a cucumber. But forced to give a speech and you're gonna whine about it. Fine. You know what? I'll write most of it for you. And then you can go in and tweak it and make it your own. And then you can deliver it yourself. How's that? Sometimes I feel like the only reason I'm first officer here is so I can write things for you. Whatever. All other departments are reporting in as normal and fully functional. Schedule-wise, there's a concert tonight. Well, a recital, really. The violin students are performing. Yes, you are going. Don't even argue about that. Just smile and nod and clap when everyone else does. The school science fair is next week, but don't worry, you don't have to judge that. You just have to give the awards to the winners. Hey, you're a role model. And the movie showing this week is Deliverance. I think I should see about changing that. Haven't you seen it? Don't see it then. Don't look it up either. You think people would go for a Pixar movie? People like Pixar, right? Okay, Toy Story 12 it is. Or Cars, maybe Cars. Yep, I think that's everything. You have your own correspondence already there on your console. Some of them are reports that are due tomorrow. Don't put those off. We have personnel reviews in 2 weeks, so get ready for that. And the bridge carpets were shampooed last night, so the smell is still a little bit strong. Not like knock you over strong, but you'll notice when you come out there. It's fine. It smells clean at least. Not like the holodecks. Okay, well that's all I have for today. If you have anything specific you need from me, just let me know. Otherwise, it's business as usual. Fly the ship, explore the galaxy, blah, blah, blah. You know that's not true. I love this stuff just as much as you do, but now I should probably get to work. I want to see how much of my to-do list I can get through before Alpha Shift starts. No rest for the wicked, but first, permission to approach the captain? Thank you. Mwah. Try not to work too hard today. I'll see you out there in a bit. Oh, and I have something special in mind for dinner. You'll see. It's a surprise. Oh. What is it now? All right, come on, let's go. See you on the bridge, Captain.